All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. What are y'all doing this weekend? Beautiful weather here in New England. That's the weather for now. Back to you, Mark. What are we talking about today? Well, we are creeping in on an important date in history next week. We are approaching my 25th wedding anniversary, so we're going to kick off today talking a little bit about that. What happened on this date in 1997, 25 years ago. Let's cut to it. We were supposed to head up north and start our wedding weekend on this date at that time. And then we got news, some really big news in the concert world, that Fleetwood Mac was reuniting and touring. This was a big deal. A very big deal, by the way. Huge Fleetwood Mac fans. There was no way we were going to miss this concert, so we adjusted our schedule and went to the show and went up north to the Adirondack Mountains the next day. We got a little bit of ribbing for that, but it was worth it. We had excellent seats, and this tour, the dance, was huge. I mean, the fact that they all reunited after all that history, if you're not familiar, you should read about it, was a really big deal. One of the most important concerts we've seen, and we've seen a lot of concerts. We'll talk more about that as we get closer and on Tuesday. But of note, this particular show, September 17th, 1997, at the Meadows in Hartford, was the first show of the dance tour. The very first opening concert for Fleetwood Mac Reunion. Amazing. So good. They ended up turning that into a DVD, as some of you probably know. Worth seeing. They did not bring out the USC marching band for Tusk, but that's all right. It was a darn good concert. And here we are. So what are we talking about? Well, as a coincidence, we're talking about 1977, 45 years ago. We're going back to a single release in September of 1977 when Fleetwood Mac dropped the fourth and final single from their magnum opus, Rumors. The song is You Make Lovin' Fun. How appropriate, right? Wow. This record, what can I say that hasn't been said before? This is their 11th studio album, and I said 4 singles. And they kind of it was a musical kind of moving in a direction of more pop music. They had done quite well with Rhiannon the year before, or a couple years before. So they were moving in that direction. But this one, wow, 40 million copies. That is insane. One of the best-selling albums of all time and considered one of the greatest albums of all time. There could have been some more singles off of this one. And this song went to number 9. All 4 singles off this record were in the top 10. And this song was played on every tour until Christy McVie left the band in the late 90s for a while. But she sings this one, by the way, in case you didn't know that. That's her that sings that one, not Stevie Nicks. And this is just awesome song. But this record, the musicianship, the production, the harmonies, you name it, it's all there. It's all good. So that is your song of the day today. We're talking Fleetwood Mac, and you can't talk about Fleetwood the 70s without talking about Fleetwood Mac. Like I mentioned, we're in 70s week here in the cave, and you cannot talk about 70s rock and roll without talking about Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. It was huge. It was on every magazine cover. It was all over the place. This was a really big deal, and it's hard to convey to people what big deals in music were anymore, because now you can just look at your phone, you can play whatever you want, whenever you want, but you had to seek this stuff out. It was in the news. It was in the pop culture. Again, what a time that was. Fleetwood Mac, You Make Lovin' Fun. Song of the day today, 25 years coming up on Tuesday. Album came out 45 years ago. Enjoy it, whatever you're doing today. I hope it involves outdoors and music. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side.